Welcome to Crypto News and Investigative Reports. I'm glad that you're able to join us today. Please follow us on Twitter. We are Crypto News and Investigative Reports. Crypto News Investigative Report. Our handle is at RobTech, ROBTECH, RobTechP. Kind of got some serious things going on globally regarding regulation, virtual currencies. After what Christine Lagarde has said at the Davos World Economic Forum, there were some interesting reactions to what she said yesterday in her, I think it was day before yesterday, in her speech. She since then had a few more different conversations with people regarding where she thinks things are headed. Please go back and look at the video. I did a video back on, it was published on October 10th, 2018, and it was about the predicted coming financial crisis. You can find this on my previous videos on YouTube. It's Ben Bernanke and Timothy Geithner and Paulson right here. Henry Paulson is the Secretary of the Treasury, and Ben Bernanke was a Fed chairman, and Geithner was Fed chairman. Now, no, maybe Geithner was Secretary of Treasury too. This is a picture of Jerome Powell, which is a current federal, he's the Federal Reserve. I did a, a video about the predicted coming financial crisis. I did some research on it and I did a video on it. You want to go back and take a look at that because this is kind of can give you an update on where we're going and how we got where we are. They did an op-ed for the Washington Post, and they feel like this time they need to sound the alarm. It's a very interesting video. You want to go back and take a look at that, and I'd like to talk a little bit more about that. But before I do that, there was a survey taken by PwC Global. They survey chief executive officers of different companies, and so before they went to Davos this year, they did another chief executive officers survey, and they wanted to know how do they feel about the future and what's coming. And so and I'll read a little bit about this. It says CEOs curb confidence spells caution, the 22nd annual Global CEO survey. They do, so you can see they've been doing it a long time. It says last year our survey revealed a record-breaking CEO optimism. So last year they actually felt really good about the global economy last year. Okay, so they had a record-breaking optimism. All right, but this year, all right, pay attention to this, guys. This year, chief executives tell a different story. So it's not like it was last year. They got a different story. This year, their story is they have trade conflicts, a political upset, and a projected slowdown in the global economic growth. And the global economic growth have increased uncertainty and decreased confidence in revenue prospects. All right. So they're going to be exploring some strategies that these organizations are using to help navigate through this difficult time. And if you, interestingly enough, a lot of the presidents that was supposed to go to Davos all pulled out. Macron pulled out, Trump pulled out, China's pulled out. So a lot of them has pulled out, and they're not even going because they have so many crises in their own countries right now that they're trying to handle. And that's going to have a serious global effect on the projected coming financial crisis. All right. So listen, guys, cryptocurrency wasn't made just randomly. Virtual currencies are designed for a specific use. And you're hearing it from me that they were designed to have a different effect on the financial crisis than what happened in 2008. All right. So remember that as we go a little further. So with that being said about the CEO survey that PwC Global did before those CEOs went to Davos, is I want to bring your attention to this prediction right here. You really want to go and read this article. I'll have the link to this article, hopefully, if I can remember and get it all right. I have this link on the after I do the YouTube recording here. All right. And so here's an economic prediction. As the IMF issues worldwide warning, 2019, the global economic collapse and bankruptcy begins. That's why I was telling you, want to go back and watch what I was talking about back in October 10th, 2018, about a predicted coming financial crisis. And it's not just CEOs saying it's getting bad. It's the IMF, it's the World Bank, Central Bank, and the Federal Reserve, and these men. Okay, don't take it from me. Take it from Jerome Powell. Take it from Geithner. Take it from Bernanke. Take it from Paulson. These guys were telling you that on their op-ed that they did back in October. But it says economic predictions. The IMF Worldwide Warning 2019, the global economic collapse and the bankruptcy is very serious. The IMF issues worldwide warning, risk of a sharper decline in global growth, certainty increase. So it's very... there's not a lot of good going on, guys. It's going to be very difficult times ahead, you know. And then let me read a little bit of this. This is a very serious article. I'll read. Let me read this part to you right here. It says rising populism, policy uncertainty, and trade conflicts have led to a sharp drop in confidence among global CEOs. The share of chief executives who think the global economy will slow over the next year has jumped nearly 30% from 5% in 2018. So you see how much that's 25%, guys. According to a survey of 1,300 top business leaders by audit giant PwC, which is what I just showed you before, which is PwC right here. They are the ones that do the audit. So this is the audit giant PwC Global. By audit giant PwC, at least publicly, corporate CEOs usually want to put a positive spin on the future. They always want to keep the future looking nice for you. And so it is absolutely astounding that this number has risen so much in just 1 year, in a single year. That optimism changed 25%, 5%, 30%. You know, they just thought it was going to be great in 2018. Now 2019. 30% of them say we're headed for trouble, folks. All right. But there is no denying what is happening around the world right now. Over Asia, China just announced that 2018 was the worst year for economic growth that country has seen in 28 years, guys. In 28 years, they haven't seen it that bad. In addition, Chinese corporate bonds default soared to an all-time record high in 2018, and it looks like 2019 could be even worse, guys. On the other side of the globe, Europe's largest economy actually contracted during the third quarter. In Europe, the largest economic powerhouse in Germany has been dented after it was announced that Germany economic had contracted in the third quarter. This left Berlin skirting on the fringe of recession territory, and economists fearing that the most powerful economy in Europe was on the brink of financial chaos, guys. Europe faces a great uncertainty during the months ahead. There is a very real possibility that we could have a no-deal Brexit. Italy is teetering on the brink of a complete and total financial ruin, and the entire European banking system could begin to collapse at any time. And you know what's going on in the U.S. economy. We are in a shutdown right now. So, ladies and gentlemen, it's not looking good right now. Please go back and read this these economic predictions. It's a very, very interesting. It's got a lot of information, and it'll really help you broaden your scope past what's happening with virtual currencies. A lot of people are just stuck in what's going on with virtual currencies. But I want to let you know, guys, there's a broader picture here. There's a broader base here. There's a broader outlook here. And like I said previously, virtual currencies were developed for a specific reason. And as you look at the global condition and the global situation, that helps you to understand why you can hedge using something like Ripple XRP. We can hedge against what happened in 2008. All right. And I keep saying that on all of these videos. I keep saying on the videos that the IMF, once the IMF gets together with the central bank and commercial banks and the world banks, they all have to get together for XRP to be this global mass adoption by 2020. It's going to be very difficult to be adopted by 2020 if you don't see an allegiance between these entities. All right. And I'm going to move on because I can keep this. I can take up the whole time with this video just going over these predictions because most of these predictions are pretty accurate. So you want to absolutely read this article. And then finally, I want to talk briefly about something I tweeted on the other day. Let me see if I can find it. I really think that it's really really important. Let's scroll down here. Please follow me on Twitter, Crypto News and Investigative Reports. at RobTech. Please follow me on YouTube. Hit the subscribe button there and subscribe. I really want to build this crypto news and investigative report community. The CNIR community is growing. I think we have maybe 2,000 subscribers already. I want to get those subscribers to this investigative community up. Please subscribe to the Crypto News and Investigative Report. I really want to build this investigative community. Here it is right here. Here's the article I want to share with you. Saudi Arabia. It's the United Arab Emirates, ancient word there. All right, the UAE Crypto. It says the cross-border digital currency will initially be developed and tested for only, and this is what I want to point out, only for bank-to-bank transfers. Bank to bank. What that means, ladies and gentlemen, that it will not be for public use. So this means that they are working with a different ledger. The cross-border digital currency will initially be developed and tested only for bank-to-bank transfers. This type of testing will be carried out in order to gain a better understanding of how blockchain-based payments are processed. So this is a different ledger, bank-to-bank transfers. That means it's not public. You see, it says the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia and the United Arab Emirates, the UAE, are reportedly working on a joint initiative that is focused on developing their own cryptocurrency. And so they're working on their own cryptocurrency, and they want to see how their own cryptocurrency can go between bank-to-bank transfers. Not between the general public, but between bank-to-bank transfers. And I showed you in my previous videos that the United Arab Emirates are already connected to Ripple. I showed you that in some previous videos. You can go and look at some of my previous videos and you'll see that we have already talked about how the UAE is connected and they're working with Ripple. All right. So, this is a fact. They have already tested. When you pull up this article, and I'm not going to pull the article up because I don't want to take the time to go through it. But if you pull the article up, you'll see that they're going between bank-to-bank transfers, which means that it's not for public use. All right. Remember that. It's not for public use. And so I wanted to move over to central bank digital currencies and kind of support that with, let me go here first. Central bank digital currencies, and then I'll come back to what David Schwartz was saying about it. And so here's my take on this. As you just saw, that they're talking about bank-to-bank, the UAE is talking about bank-to-bank transfers. When you talk about on their own digital currency, because that's their central bank. And right here it says the report considers, and this is off the BIS. Oh, I guess I better tell you that. This is the Bank of International Settlements, BIS, all right? And this is their central bank of digital currencies. And I've talked about this before a few times on my videos. It says the report considers a wholesale CBDC. And look what it says right here, folks. It says for use in financial markets. That means that it's not that ledger. That ledger will not be used for the public. This will be a ledger that will be used between central banks. Okay? Because that's what they're talking about here in this article. Bank-to-bank transfers. They're talking about using a different ledger that is not for the public. Okay? So that's what they're talking about here, the Bank of International Settlements. And the IMF, Christine Lagarde, and she's on board with this as well. All right, because she's trying to tell central banks to use the ledger that they can do this for use for financial markets, bank-to-bank type of stuff. Listen, here's the big math problem. Central banks have got to keep control. So central banks are saying, we got to figure out how to do that. Well, this is one of the ways they're going to do that. They're going to report considers that a wholesale CBDC, a wholesale CBDC, it says, and then they're going to, okay, so this one right here, this one right there is going to be for banking use only, for their central bank's digital asset. And then we have a different ledger, which is going to be for the public. You see that there? It says, and a general purpose CBDC for the use by the public, the general public. That's a different ledger, guys. That's a different ledger. So for central banks, for central banks, guys, central banks print money. And central banks have to figure out how to link that the money that they're printing, and I don't know how all of this is going to come together by I mean, there's a lot more people out there. As a matter of fact, guys, I want to say make sure you watch Love for Crypto. Love for Crypto is going to be coming on maybe in about an hour, well, from where I am, in about an hour and a half. So you want to make sure you watch Love for Crypto. He's going to be streaming live, and hopefully I'll pull that up before I go off, before I end this this video today, this recording. But there's going to be a general purpose CBDC for use by the public, general. So David Schwartz, and as I was reading, it says Ripple CTO David Schwartz shares how the XRP and the XRP ledger works for crypto investors. So hopefully he was talking about investors as banks, including banks in this. I don't know. It didn't say banks. It says investors. And what got me out of the article, he doesn't say that it cannot be done. In this article, he says has not yet been constructed. It says Schwartz went on to explain that the idea of having two different ledgers that are bridged through an asset issued on both networks sounds good, but it has not been constructed yet. So is he saying they might be able to do it? Is he saying they cannot do it? I'm not sure what he's actually saying. And I think I do agree with the overall observation that it would need a bridge would need to be built, and the construction of it, how it works, how you do it, how it's supposed to be done, the interconnectedness of it, because that's part of the issue, is the interconnectedness of it. And that's what the International Monetary Fund is working on, interconnecting these different central banks. All right. And that's a fact. I don't have time to pull that particular article up right now because this video is already going too long already. But this is the point. There's two different ledgers. There's going to be a ledger here from the central banks for financial markets, and then there's going to be a ledger right here that's going to be used for the public, for the general public. All right? So let's recap, guys. Right here, this was the Saudi Arabia and the UAE, which are already connected to Ripple, are testing a bank-to-bank transfers, and it is not for the public. Bank to bank, which means it's not for the public. And then we talked about a little bit about PwC and the global outlook of the CEOs that are in that are out in the World Economic Forum, that they're having some real skepticism about the future of the global economy. It doesn't look good. All right, trade conflicts, political upset, and just a slowdown in the global economic growth. So the CEOs of the countries, of these different countries, are saying there's a problem. And then you've got to read this article. The IMF issues worldwide warning. 2019, the global economic collapse and bankruptcy begin. IMF issues a worldwide warning. Risk of a sharper decline in the global growth and uncertainty. And then I talked a little bit about David Schwartz. Is he actually saying that there is no bridge? Is he saying that it cannot be done? Is he saying that you cannot have two ledgers? I don't know. I'm going to be watching Love for Crypto. Hopefully he's going to shed some light on that. And then, of course, this old article I always revert to because this is what the central bank wants to do, the CBDCs. All right? I'm going to cut off right there. I'm going to continue to follow this story. And please subscribe, Crypto News, to the Crypto News and Investigative Reports community. Please, we try to stay on top of research. We don't do a lot of other stuff. We try to keep you informed by giving you research on articles. Look, guys, all you have to do is follow the internet. I've done. Follow the International Monetary Fund, the World Bank, the central banks, and commercial banking. You'll be able to know what virtual currencies is going to do just by following these different banks and the banking structure. Because what was Ripple and the digital asset XRP made for? I think as we looked, Brad Garlinghouse reiterated today, it's the use case. And XRP, the XRP with Xcurrent, Xrapid, Xvia, Xspring, those are all for banks. It's for banking. All right? All right. I'll stop right there, folks. Until the next time, please leave me some comments. I'll respond to your comments and continue to build the Crypto News and Investigative Reports community. All right? Oh, and then Make sure you watch Love for Crypto's video tonight. All right, they're live. They're doing a live stream, so make sure you all log into the Love for Crypto live stream, and he's going to give us probably some more in-depth comment regarding the conspiracy of the two different ledgers. Until the next time, folks, enjoy your day.